overall title of the week, X-Men Legacy 225. Surprise, surprise, right, ladies and gentlemen? Again, obviously, let's go, if you look at the main categories, and this is, why I picked it for this, you had a great cover, and you got great writing, okay? The only category it was missing was arting, but it had some beautiful art. It really did. It just wasn't better than what Yardine did and Robinson. So, you just got to give credit where credit's due, and sometimes you lose the battle. So it had gorgeous art. I really, really loved the scenes where you're going back in Xavier's mind, and you were seeing, like, classic villains versus classic heroes from different time periods and just fighting. I mean, Marrow got tons of love. I don't know if you noticed, but Marrow's in like 2 straight pages. No fucking Maggot, though. What the fuck? Why can't we put Maggot in more than just Exiles? I appreciate Jeff Parker, but, come on, let's get him in the mainstream. Let's get this guy back here. He's fucking crazy cool, and he gets no love. Although he was on the cover for, like, X-Men 200, so that was pretty cool. Got a little love there. Okay, anyway, so that's that for the week. So let's move on to some questions, shall we? Shall we? We get a lot of questions, so I really appreciate it. And again, if your questions aren't here, I just didn't get a chance to get to them because I got so many of them. So let's go ahead and start busting some of these out. Okay. This question says comics that you don't like, or just whatever. And the questioner asks, I've got a bunch of titles that really suck ass, and I don't know what to do with them. Do I throw them away? What do I do? I don't know, man. Depending on what those titles are, you could always send them to me. I'll take them, and I'll keep them, and I'll take very good care for you. No, on a serious note, though, I'm a collector, okay? So when I get comics, I'll get some random stuff. Like, for a little while there, I was playing City of Heroes, and they would send you an issue. And I bagged and boarded those. They weren't very awesome, and the game got old, too, but I keep everything. I've got random stuff. At one point or another, I got a grab bag of comics, and it came with, like, a Pokemon comic. I kept that shit. I bagged and boarded it. I just collect to collect, I don't really discriminate. If I buy it and it's bad, chalk it up to a loss, I guess I could always just, like, meet Teddy. Hi, everybody. I'm Teddy. You could always just take him and just, like, feed him to Teddy. Let's go! But, I just keep him. Why not? Doesn't hurt. Eventually, even the shittiest of the comics I give him to my son, and then that can be his learning comics, He can chew them and tear them and do whatever he wants in their bags and boards, and it won't matter because I don't like them anyway. And hopefully he does do that, because otherwise I'll be giving him a lot of crappy comics, and his taste in comics is going to be terrible. Anyway, so that's what I do with them. You can always do what you please. And then another question was titles for younger readers. There's some great options out there now. There was a stint where there wasn't a whole lot of options. You had a lot of the DC Kids stuff, but some of that stuff wasn't that good. Other than that, you really had slim pickings. Now Marvel Adventures has a whole line. They've got Marvel Adventures Heroes, Marvel Adventures Avengers, Marvel Adventures Spider-Man. Then they have all the first class titles in X-Men. So any of those is a great option. They're clearly made for kids. You said like 10 to 12 years old. That's a good target. Otherwise, Ultimate Spider-Man, like I mentioned last week, in trades, or if you want to go back and get single issues for the kids. But trades are even better. If you can find them cheap, which I'm sure you can, get some cheap ones off of eBay and then give them to your kids. It's a great way for them to learn. That way you don't get any coloring in it. You don't get any destruction. It's a great way to start before you start giving them issues that may have some value or that you'd like them to take some care of, So, also the DC Kids stuff is there. There's some good stuff there. Tiny Titans may be a little younger for them, but that's funny stuff. I like it. I don't know. Stuff like that is obviously rated for children. In that age range, and it's not a bad option. Alright. Do I watch other review shows? No, I don't. I'm sorry. There is one that I've seen, and I don't want to start like I'm small pickings to this one. They're a little bit bigger than me, that's for sure, but there's one that I've seen, and because of that one, I thought I could do better, and I made this one. And whether or not it really is better, that's probably not the case. I've got 20. They've got a couple more than that. But I basically, and again, not to start a feud here. If you decide for this, I'm not saying anything because everybody their own. But that one I thought was just a little too just, you know, people have an image of geeks and nerds, and people read comics, and certain things you see just reinforce the label. And that sucks, man, because not everybody's like that. You know, I mean, some people are, and you have your tendencies, but not everybody's like that, okay? Other people get into other things. But this one I saw, it just reinforced the label, and just, I knew I could do better. And I think this is better, and 20 of you say it is, so it's not. I appreciate you guys thinking it's good, but I'm sure you watched the other one and you enjoyed it a lot more. So, when I drink a beer, you believe I actually drink beer. And that one, those guys drinking water. Anyway. Previews. Do I ever use previews to order my comics? For those of you that don't know what previews is, it is a giant catalog that comes out once a month, and it has the solicitations for 3 months ahead in comics and merchandise releases. So you can get it on that, get your stuff ordered, and you know it's coming for you. That's how your comic store orders comics. They order in bulks. They take your pull list, add them up, and that's how many. And then they, you know, put those titles into your box, and then based on how many pulls they're getting, they can estimate how many comics they can have brought into them and still sell without having a ton of stock. So, polls are important. I'll let your comic book shop. That's why polls are free. Because you're doing a giant marketing service for them. You're helping them do their orders, and you're guaranteed to pick it up. And it's good for you because they'll hold your comics. And sometimes people like me don't pick their comics up long, but their comic shop is awesome, boss goes, and they'll hold your stuff for a while, and then you don't have to pay super back issue prices. But my comic shop knows I'm good for it. I'll come back for them, and I'll still spend money, so I don't have to worry about that. Anyway, previews. I don't use it very often. I have used it. I actually used it to order my Joker cane. This was off of previews. It was a JLA trophy item. It was a little expensive. Last time we did this, check this out. Last time we did this, I couldn't open this. Look who can open it now. Gas nozzle sucker. If you were in this room, you'd be passing out. That's not true. It's a toy. That's not true. It's not a toy. It's actually something that needs to be hung on the wall, but it's heavy as shit and it won't stay. Anyway. God, I'm doing a lot of rambling. It's not really funny rambling this time, is it? I'll give you a Greg Land face. I hope that makes up for it. Okay. So previews, not a whole lot. Again, I used it for that, but that came out end of last summer, so it's been a while. Vertigo titles. Do I pick up Vertigo titles? Just this week, and it'll be reviewed next week. I picked up the Vertigo title Air. I heard that was pretty good, and I picked it up. Figured why not. So the review for that will be next week. And I'm also a huge Why Last Man fan. I picked it up from the beginning, followed all the way through. Thought it was one of the best endings for a comic I've ever read. A little teary-eyed for that one. Yeah, that comic was around and for a good long time and provided me a handy helpy wanting to get there on Wednesdays, that's for sure. But, so that's a Vertigo title to read. I've tried some Fables, wasn't too huge of a fan of it. My wife loves Fables, she's reading them. Other than that, that's about what I got for Vertigo. Next question, are you reading any of the new Phantom comics? Short answer, no. I'm not, unfortunately. I seen the movie, and as a kid I thought it was great. Saw it again later when I was older. It was terrible. I remember the cartoon wasn't so good. I really don't know much about the character. It was a terrible, terrible movie. But you did get a cool fucking skull ring when you went to the movie when I saw it. That was sick. Good marketing. But anyway, it was back when the economy was better. Yeah, so no. Sorry, I don't. Are they good? People? Anybody reading these? Reading the Phantom comics? If they're good, if I get a few more than one, you know, you just let me know if they're good enough. If you think I'll like them, I'll pick it. I'll tell you that much. The guy who wrote me this, Phantom Comics, you let me know why it's good, and I'll pick that shit up. Why not? I tried other stuff for other people. I'm not gonna let you down. You let me know. I'll check it out. I need more alcohol. IPA is some delicious shit. Especially Beartooth / Moose Tooth in Anchorage, Alaska. They make a Meltdown IPA. Delicious. Got a growler of that shit.